Hey there, we are at 3 Sequoia Drive Trace. This is obviously the new construction home. Gonna start out front, of course, show you a little bit about where we are as far as neighbors go. This one is definitely a little rural, in the sense that we are definitely outside of town here. I'll show you. Not a lot of neighbors right where we're at. There are some you can see down there. They're spotted here and there, but there's even property like you can see over there. There's little farms even. You can see that outbuilding, the big metal detached shop there. Anyhow, definitely no immediate neighbors. There is one behind this house, and we'll see that one in a second. But when we talk later, I can explain a little bit about location, but here's the outside of the home. This one has been finished for a minute. I just notice little things when I'm looking at new construction. You know, you think, oh, it's brand new, everything should be great. I don't love things like, hopefully you can see it, like the finish work. You know, it's the house has been done for quite a while. Somebody should have done a punch list and really, finish some of these details. But overall, there are some nice features to this house. So anyway, 2-car garage. They did do a nice job of angling the driveway and the angling the garage so that the water will flow away in case there was some big torrential rain. There's a little bit of a slope right here, so you'd be surprised how many places I see where that angles towards the garage, and then of course you're gonna get little bits of rainwater in sometimes if we have a lot of heavy rain. Here we go up to the front door. Got a leaded glass front door, able to let a little light in, but you really can't see inside too good, so that's good. Obviously, no carpet in the house. The living space and the kitchen, living, dining, laundry room, hallways have this very big tile, which is cool. It's definitely on trend as far as not having this small square tile, so that's nice. Everything is light and bright. Depending on what your style, preferences are. It's definitely an all white kind of home. So here's the living space. Front windows, again, letting a bunch of light in. Big vault to the ceiling. So this again is your living area. Obviously you can set up TVs and all however you want. I believe this one is set up so that you walk in the front door and the back side of your couch is meant to go here and some more furniture there, and then TV, entertainment center, whatever you want to call it there. You could even put, you could put a U-shaped couch here, L-shaped sectional, whatever. And then of course this end dining area. It is nice and wide this way. Sometimes I'll see these homes that where this section is much more narrow to the point where you've got a table here and there's barely enough room to maybe put some bar stools at the counter. So there's definitely plenty of room here for that. Here's the kitchen. That way is the master and the garage. This way is the spare bedrooms. We're going to start over here. So here's your little hallway, spare bedroom, the front spare bedroom. They are pretty much just a mirror image of each other. Pretty standard. There are fans everywhere. Standard bifold door closet, has the shelving for hanging. Spare bedroom number 2. You know what? That one might be this one might be a hair bigger. I don't know why builders do that. I see it all the time. This one does feel just a little bit smaller. Same standard bifold closet door, closet, fan. There's laminate in the bedrooms, but step up from carpet for sure. Here's the spare bathroom. Got quartz on all the countertops. Pretty standard white vanity cabinet. Somebody did try to get fancy with their lighting and mirror. This bathroom has a tub shower combo. They did do a pretty nice job giving some detail and did an actual tiled shower and the regular tub rather than put, a lot of times these builders will put fiberglass insert that's one unit, that's the tub and shower, and it's just a white fiberglass unit. It does make for easy cleaning because they clean really easy, but it's not very pretty. So this is a standard actual tile, so that's nice. Back out this way. Here's the kitchen, then the doors out to the back patio and backyard. We'll go out there in just a second. Here, the kitchen is lovely. They did a nice job. They came all the way out with this countertop. The island is big. They did put the sink over there, dishwasher, and the stove, so you just have full island space to do whatever you want to do. More meal prep, food prep, buffet, for parties, all of that. Obviously, like I said, there's room for stools at the counter here. You could have breakfast, coffee, etc. They did put power outlets in the island, which I do appreciate. Again, lots of counter space here. This is a nice kitchen. They did put full height cabinets instead of short and put a little detail work at the top. One nice feature that I don't see in these kind of starter home is they put a pot filler. So kudos to this builder for doing that. Here's your stove microwave area. I did put cabinets over the refrigerator. Some builders here are not putting refrigerators in. Now this is not the biggest refrigerator, obviously, but there is one here at least, so you wouldn't have to buy a new one, at least not yet, if you didn't want to. If you were hoping to have a bigger fridge, maybe something with water and ice on the door, or one with upper doors and a slide out freezer on the bottom, but there is one here anyway. Kitchen sink, window looking out over the backyard. Got a divided stainless sink. Here's what it looks like from this direction. Let's see your soft clothes, so that's nice. Got a pantry. Always nice. Here's the laundry room and garage. Another broom closet, if you will, whatever kind of storage here in the laundry room. There's not, this laundry room is basically, washer dryer. There's no cabinetry, there's no space for wash basin, but pretty standard on this price point. So at least you do have closet. So here is the garage. Water heater right here. Here's your air handler. I said in that last video, this is the pretty standard here in Florida to put the air handler in the garage. That's the most common thing to do. Here's your attic access, your electrical panel. Did a nice job on the garage. Didn't waste any space. Sometimes the water heater, they'll set it out like right there and then you lose space. They made sure to, knowing that the air handler and ductwork were going to be here, they made enough room so this can be set back and it's not sticking out. I've seen that a number of times, so that's nice. All right, here's the master suite. Here we go. Pretty good size room. Got a tray ceiling there. Of course, fan, a big window. It is already wired for cable if you want to go that route. You know, obviously a lot of people these days are just doing internet streaming services, so don't really need the wired cable, but it's there. There is a pocket door going into the bathroom. I do appreciate that because bathroom doors can take up so much room in a bedroom, especially if you're really trying to make use of every square inch and not waste any. So, pocket door going into the master bathroom. Double sink. They did the same mirror and chandelier setup as the guest bath. Same quartz counters and white cabinet. There is a separate tub and then full walk-in shower in this bathroom. There is a window in here and they frosted the glass, so that's good. Here's your walk-in shower. It's got quite the shower head. It does have a handle on it and a traditional shower head, even some coming off from here. All kinds of nozzles there. Now, this door on the end goes to the water closet. Oh, that's the fan. So you have your own, you can close off the toilet, and if somebody needs to use the bathroom and somebody else is in the shower, wants to get dressed or wants to, you know, brush their teeth, they can do those things at the same time. This other door goes to the closet to walk in. Got your pretty standard hanging shelves, and it does make a somewhat of a U shape. There we go. We'll head out to the back patio. Back porch is not huge. It's nice that it's here and that it is a covered porch and that it is tied into the roof line with the original construction. That's always looks the nicest. Usually at this price point, I am going to have to say most of the time you get that, which is just no porch at all and a little bit of a piece of concrete that's, you know, coming right off the sliders in the back. But this builder at least gave you something. These are very easy to screen, so if you wanted to screen it, you could. Again, it's not huge. That's the only drawback to it is the size of it. But here you can get a good look at the backyard anyway. As you can tell, and you may have some questions. Ooh, that is a huge wall of spider webs. I'm not walking through that. That house was built up quite a bit behind you. Somebody must have done something. I don't know if the person who was building that house requested that it be like that. It's hard to say what made the builder choose to build it up like that, unless they did some kind of testing on the soil and you know, right in that little spot. You know, maybe it just was a good idea to build it up some. I don't see any other homes right here that are like that, so it's hard to say. You can see where the property, and hopefully you can see, there's a stake right here. I don't want to go too far close to those woods. This grass is deep and you might have snakes. The sod, you can see where the sod ends, you know, right here. However, the property line doesn't end. It goes back to here. You can see the stake. So you've got about, I don't know, another 10 feet past where the sod ends. But the sod took real well. It's bahia. That's what this grass is called. You can see these This is the this is the seed it kicks up when it's ready to. You'll never not want to mow your grass, because those will pop up everywhere. That's how this grass reseeds itself. So, but it's hardy. It's hard to kill Bahia here, so that's the plus. Here is the view from the back. There is your well. So, and I can tell you, out here, I don't believe it will ever go to public water. We are pretty far out here. I was planning on inviting you guys to a Zoom call tomorrow, where I can maybe share my screen and take a look at some maps that I can show. Shoot. Dang it. I can show you some maps. I can share my screen and we can look at some maps, and I can kind of give you some ideas about, where some of these homes are in relation to the actual city limits of Ocala. And we can just talk a little bit about that. But I mean, the wooded lots on either side are pretty, definitely private. So there is that. Oh, those are a little heavy. All right, one last look this way. And there we go. Thank you.